Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Jeff again. Not sure what the issue is, but I uploaded this video once already. Some people are able to see it, some people are not. Not sure what's going on with it, so I'm going to try to do a re-upload for you. Hopefully, if you're hearing my voice right now, it means that things are back on track and working properly again. Otherwise, I don't know what's going on, but let's hope for the best. Hopefully you guys can see it momentarily. Well, hello everybody and welcome back. It is Jeff again and I am coming to you from the Mindcrack server. I've been on for a few hours doing quite a bit of work. Part of that work involved getting a lot of enchanting done. If you can see, I've got a sword. I've added sharpness 2 to my sword. I've got an efficiency 4 unbreaking 3 diamond pick now, as well as my first attempt got me a silk touch 1 unbreaking 3. So I kind of put that away. With the ender farm, the ability to get enchants, I didn't even think about it before. I don't know why. I was still trying to enchant things on like level 30, and if it wasn't good, I would try to enchant something else and combine it and see if that would work out for me. I realized that the first thing I got was after the Silk Touch one, I got the Efficiency 4, and I was like, Efficiency 4 is great, but I really want Unbreaking on that thing. And I was like, wait a minute, why don't I just start enchanting books until I get some Unbreaking? And that's exactly what I did. I started enchanting books until I got Unbreaking on it, and that's how I got an Efficiency 4 Unbreaking 3. I don't know why I didn't think about that before, but 1 diamond pick, about an hour at the enchanting place, and I got actually 2 diamond picks because the Silk Touch one, but oops, I got a lot of really good stuff. So I have been working on the hospital, taking into account your guys' suggestions. I had many suggestions for the cyan wool, or the cyan clay, which I used quite a bit of. However, I also had a lot of suggestions for white clay, which I didn't even know was a color. A lot of people said white is a better color. It's the hospital-wise, it's like, you know, the color of sterility and, you know, all this stuff that it would give the hospital a better, like, pop. So I put on the white. I don't mind the white, but I'm trying to find the best way to get it combined together. And I think I've got something, but when I put it together in a bunch of them, it doesn't look as good as I had hoped. There, floor is finally repaired. Oh yeah, by the way, I also got an Unbreaking 3, Punch 1, Power 3, Infinity 1 bow. Amazingly, I started out at the Skelly spawner, and I ended up getting a Punch 1, Power 3, Unbreaking 3 bow that was almost dead from a skeleton. I was like, wow, this thing's great. And so I started just, I used a bunch of levels and another bow and got it up to full strength. And then I got an Infinity 1 book with a level 30, and I was like, can I add this to this bow? And sure enough, it let me. So this bow is a beast. I love it. But I found out if I put the cyan on like the front and then put white on the inside, it looks pretty good. But when you put a bunch of them together, I'm not sure anymore. I really liked how it looked when I did a test one, and then I was like, when I did a whole row of them, I was like, I don't know how this looks anymore. I was testing out different ceilings again. I put the cyan wool up top, and I was like, well, it's kind of dark and dreary. I think this still looks right. Inside here, well, let's not do that one, because that one's kind of crappy. I put this one, I also gave it a black back wall, and this stuff on top, and I think this looks the best for what I can do. I'm slowly putting in these slabs in the ceiling. This one, all these ones, I probably will move them out one, and so that they're not right next to the outside wall, but at the same time, the white in the back gives it a nice pop as well. So I'm really not sure. I mean, do I want to just cover it up like that? See, it's like a pinky white. I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I don't know. This is making it difficult to get a good color scheme going with this hospital. I thought the clay would be so much easier to choose which ones that I really like, which color I really wanted it to go with, but it's actually just making things extremely difficult. So I don't know. I think I'm going to mess with this for a little while and then maybe go on and do something else. Put some more of the ceiling on because I'm curious how it's going to look when I actually close this area off from the upper floor. And the nice thing is, everybody suggested I put on just the lower half slabs up here, and that is in order to stop enemy spawns. That's great suggestion. The problem I run into with that is when I try to build up here, then everything I try to put down is going to be hovering one half slab up. So I don't really know the best way to combat that right now, but I'm not really worrying about that at this moment. I'm just trying to get this floor here looking good. I almost was gonna leave this. Should I loop the lobby through so this is actually part of the lobby? I might do that when all is said and done, to make the beacon so you can still see the beacon from the outside through the glass and everything as well. Because right now I'm going to end up walling it off, so you're not going to be able to see it from here. So I'm not sure. We'll have to think about that one. I just don't know. Oh, but anyways, it's you know, New Year's going relatively well so far for me. Not too bad. Big changes coming up. I will be transitioning back to my old bedside nursing job in the ICU come next month on the 10th. So I will be not really changing careers. It's all my career, but changing exactly how I perform as a nurse. So no more nursing informatics for a while for me, though I'm sure I'm going to be helping out with a lot of the informatics stuff still in the ICU, but that's okay. I'm going back to the bedside and looking forward to it. So that's something that's coming up with my life and changing. Another great thing that's coming up, though, is near the end of this month, we are doing an annual emergency department. Despite whether I'm in the emergency department or not, I'm still an ER nurse at heart, and everybody in my in the emergency department still considers me an emergency department nurse, especially since I've been supporting them for the last like year and a half. But we do an annual emergency department trip to a ski resort and go do some massive snowboarding, skiing, drinking, etc. Like, we just rent a house that has hot tubs and on the resort property, and we go just have a great time. This will be year number 4. I've been to every single one of them. There's been probably about 6 or so of the people going that have been to them all, and it just keeps expanding every single year, getting bigger and bigger, and it is a good time, and I cannot wait until it happens. Just coming up very, very soon. And it was funny, a friend was talking about skiing and snowboarding and how she was talking about how she goes skiing, but she's not that great at it. And her response was, she's a green and blue girl. That's where she sticks to. She's a green and blue girl. And for those who aren't familiar with skiing lingo, what that means is, you know, you got your different difficulty levels of the slopes, and greens are green circles, and they're supposed to be the easiest ones that you can traverse. And then you got the blue squares, and then you get up to the black diamonds and the double black diamonds and things like that. Get rid of this so that it doesn't spawn a bunch of random enemies up here. I guess the pads next to it are going to spawn until I take them out. I kind of want to leave them there for now, the ones next to me, just to see what they look like. But she was talking about being a green and blue girl. And I was like, no, that's not me at all. I said, I'm a straight up, you know, black and blue guy. And I put emphasis on the black because it's, I prefer to stick to blacks, actually. And then I'll move over to blues if I have to tone it down a little bit, or if I'm going with somebody else who's doesn't have as high of a skill level. I love cruising down those blacks. And she was talking about, well, you know, and Julia, my girlfriend, she's like, she doesn't ski or snowboard. And I was like, oh yeah, she does. I was like, she's not great at it. I've taken her out though a few times, and she does pretty well for a beginner. She's only gone twice snowboarding ever, both times with me, and she's picked it up pretty quickly. And I said something about, I was like, and Julia is like, she's like, yeah, she'll probably be with me over on the greens and blues. And I was like, no. I was like, Julia's completely a black and blue girl. I was like, but that's just the color of her body after she spent most of the day falling on those greens. She just started cracking up because she didn't expect me to say something like that at first and didn't expect that was going to be said. And then, of course, it turned into a beating your girlfriend reference. Just out as a joke. I don't beat my girlfriend, don't worry. But, you know, black and blue. I made her black and blue. No, I'm just kidding. You know what I mean. But I thought it was kind of a comical story. And I was kind of impressed with myself for the wit that I pulled up with it. But sometimes I can be impressed with myself for absolutely no reason. And that was one of those times. So I'm going to take it to heart. But anyways, hopefully you guys are enjoying the crazy weather going on, depending on where you live. My parents in Michigan, or B-dubs in Michigan, they just got, I know in Flint, they got record-breaking snowfall yesterday since 1975. And I mean, think about that. Since 1975, Flint's industry was starting to boom in 60s and 70s. So I mean, that's when Flint was this huge, crazy place, the model of industrial revolution. And for those of you who don't believe me, that is true. Flint at one day was the model for industrial revolution, and that was just where everybody was going to move, where all the jobs were going to be. Yeah, we all see the sad, end of that story, but that's what it was thought to be. And sometime in that time frame is the last time they had a snowfall of this magnitude in one day. Think about that. Flint has been known for how long as just this horrible, destroyed, decrepit town full of crime, etc. I bet you nobody watching my video has any thought process of Flint back when it was a booming time frame. Hell, I lived there for many years. It was before my time. I'm 32 years old. It was before my time that was a booming, a booming place. And I'm just trying to think, oops, sorry, I just kicked my mic, and put it in perspective that when you're dealing with record snowfalls, holy crap. Like, I don't think anybody is sitting in Flint right now going, oh man, I remember that good old storm in 1975. It was worse than this. People are, it doesn't matter. Hell no, all those people are either dead or moved out by now. No, anybody who's that old probably doesn't, or who was living in Flint in 1975 probably is not living there now because they were like, screw this, I'm out of here. I mean, I guess you could stay there. But yeah, think about that. That's kind of interesting to think about as well, because I'm sure there really are people who were living there in 75 that are living there now. Can you imagine living in a town where it was like the place to be? It's where everybody wanted to be. Like, let's say you live in, like, right now, somewhere like Vail, Colorado. Hell, Washington, D.C. I can use my own self as an example. Washington, D.C. Whoops, I just fell all the way down. Washington, D.C. All of a sudden, right now, of course, Washington, D.C., the government, all this great stuff is going on in this city. Everybody wants to live here. It is so ridiculously expensive to live here. One of the biggest things that I hate about this city, how expensive it is. I've talked about that before. But imagine all of a sudden, 30 years from now, let's say I'm still living here, and all of a sudden this place has just been rock bottom. I guess not all of a sudden, but, all of a sudden this place is rock bottom for, the last 15 years that I'm living here. I don't think I could sit there and legitimately be like, man, I remember the time when DC was this booming place. Like, that would be so weird to live in some place, have the money to spend on, a place with rent really high, cost of living just extremely high, and then just have it turn to garbage and still be there and be and think. I mean, the other direction happens and people get extremely lucky. Like, coincidentally, there's a lot of gentrification that happens in Washington, D.C. And for those who don't know what gentrification is, it's kind of like modernizing things in order to pull in mainly a younger crowd. So what they'll do a lot of times is they'll take this rundown part of the city, because all the city's not great and all the city's not expensive either. There's some really bad parts of it that are extremely cheap because they're very dangerous, but that's becoming less and less as time goes on because of gentrification. They're taking this, they're investing money, they're making the place more habitable. You all of a sudden you have your hipsters is really what starts the trends. You get your hipsters that start moving out somewhere and bring in the younger crowd and the the different things to do. A lot of it gets started by these big apartment complexes. They'll take this rundown part of the city and they'll just plop this apartment complex into this really modern apartment complex that really caters toward people like hipsters and things like that. That's just it's like, oh, like it's loft style, it's because that's the cool thing to have, like the artist living in the loft. And I know I sound facetious when I'm saying that, but it's very true that that's the concept behind it. I mean, if you ever think of your typical artist type and how do they live, your TV artist and hipster and things like that. I mean, that's what they cater toward. I'm not saying it's everybody that's out here. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people who move into those areas are not like that at all. They just they think the style's relatively cool for no other reason, and they just kind of appeals to them a little bit, but they're not really hipsters by any stretch of the imagination. So I mean, there's all types, but they cater it toward these hipster crowds in order to get this set of people to move in and start bringing this crowd in, and they've done very successfully in DC. The area I live in now, one of my friends out here actually has owned a house out here for about 6 years on this in this general area. That was weird. That scared the crap out of me. Owned a house for about 6 years. She bought a house when the place was pretty destructive and scary to live in, and all of a sudden it turned around. And she got lucky with that purchase. I mean, you can't put it all to luck, because part of it was because she was in the real estate market and kind of saw the way that the trend was turning and things like that. So it wasn't all luck by any means, but that's what it was, all based on. She bought it when it was cheap because it was the area that was going to be the upcoming area, and that's what it turned into. So I've seen where I was going with that is, I know many people. Well, hi. Eat it. Eat it. I'll still let you hit me a few times, but that's fine. I've seen it where the people go from the really upscale area to the not so upscale area. And how do I put this back wall on? Put the back wall there. So let me just line this whole thing with a back wall. So I want to go all the way out here. See, I'm going to block off this thing, and this thing is not going to be in the middle of my rooms or anything. I kind of don't like that. I think I want to actually push this back so this resides more in the center, but I don't know how to do that properly. If I actually move my... No, because I can't have the patient rooms up here. I want the lobby to be looking like this. I could move the beacon, but if I move the beacon, it's no longer coming out the center of the helicopter pad either. So, I mean, there's many things at play here that I don't know what to do with. I think I want to widen this up a little bit and put a iron. I'm going to do the iron gates around it, grates around it, going up to the top, I think. But how can I make this fit in here properly? I'm wondering if if I stretched this wall, the lobby kind of around here, that would do it. Just an awkward position that I put this stuff into, and I'm not really sure. I could just move the beacon so it's no longer down here and actually put it up toward the top. But I think that would kind of suck. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this, guys. So ignoring the beacon for now, let me just build this wall out a little bit. Try to close this off so that I can look at it for what I'm building it for. But yeah, I cannot imagine, basically where I was going with that is I can't imagine living in a place that's so upscale, nice place, the model of America, and then when it turns into garbage, to still be living there so many years later. It'd be so crazy to me. Because I grew up in the Flint area when it was already pretty devastated, not when it was up and coming by any means, because that didn't happen until after I was out of the picture there. Let's see. I obviously did not do that right. I need to go clean up some parts of that wall. There's got to be a way to build something around this where it's at right now in order to make this all look better. I'm just not sure what it is exactly. If I put the nurse's station like right here and just leave, like put a couple more rooms and then leave this open so that this is kind of here and you have to like walk around it, and oh, I could put it in the break room. But then it would only be for the nurses. It would not be for anybody else. But I could build a break room right here and just be like, look, in the break room, we get to dance around the beacon. Yeah, I actually have no idea. But, yeah, I don't know what to say, guys. The color scheme is really making it really difficult for me to understand how to finish this thing up because it just looks so weird. I don't know. This is going to be like the cheesiest hospital that's ever existed. But hospital nonetheless. I need to get working on this thing. I need to get some more iron. I need to get that beacon actually on regen so it's a legitimate hospital. But for now, I gotta end this episode. So, kind of a random episode, but, you know, whatever. Anyways, sorry guys, I'm kind of losing my train of thought tonight. So anyways, hope you guys have a good night. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week until the next time you see me in a video, which hopefully won't be all week, but you never know. It might be. I doubt it. But I will see you guys soon enough. Until next time.